I've just been collecting some chamomile heads for drying. Iwan dried some of these last year and the tea was really bitter, so I didn't drink it. And then the last couple of months I've started making chamomile lattes, so boiling them in milk with some honey, and it's absolutely delicious and they really help me sleep. So I'm going to try and do some more because we were absolutely strewn with chamomile. Strewn? I'm going with it, and it's slowly starting to disappear, and I think I also have pineapple weed as well as chamomile. I'm trying to see the difference between the two, but pineapple weed, if you rub the this is where I don't know my flower names, the middle, you get like a pineapple-y scent, but they can be used interchangeably. So yeah, I tried to pick these two that look different. So I'm pretty sure this one is the chamomile and this one is the pineapple weed. Maybe you can confirm for me, but yeah, chamomile, pineapple weed. The pineapple weed seems to grow sort of multiple flowers, but the leaves are super similar. But yeah, anyway, both help you sleep. And both are edible. This is our homemade sun dryer that we did the tomatoes in last year. We're going to try and make an even bigger one this year for our tomato factory. So I will put this in overnight just so that the dew doesn't go on it in the morning. But yeah, I'll put this back out in the sun tomorrow, not too directly in the sun, I think that can damage them, but just so that they're getting the heat of the day. You can of course also use the chamomile fresh from the garden, so I'm just drying it so that we've got some throughout the summer for any sleepless nights. Good morning guys, it is another beautiful day here. It is like the perfect temperature, not too hot, just wonderful. Yeah, feeling very lucky to be here today. Oh, I've just noticed there's a cat. Such wow. We are working on the kitchen today. A bit slow to get started because I've been pottering about in the garden. That is not Joao, that is not our cat. Oh well. And Iwan's going to be finishing painting the wall and I'm going to be working on the shelving. I will show you what I've been up to. I've been practicing. We've been advised to use some tile adhesive. I'm not too sure about it, so I'm going to try with some render and see which one I find easier to work with. So this is the block with the tile adhesive on that I had to go with yesterday, and I sponged it a bit. This is just pure tile adhesive, and now I've got another one to practice on. Iwan is just making a mini mix,
a baby mix
for me, thanks, to experiment with. Okay, so this is what it's looking like. I think I will sponge it to give it even more smoothness, but for me that's definitely more what I was going for versus this. If you're wondering what on earth has she gotten herself into, I'm thinking exactly the same. It's going to take a lot of patience to do this whole shelf, but I think in the end the idea in my head is going to it's going to look cool. And getting the back has been really easy with using a paintbrush. Obviously the shelves don't have this gap here that I can work with, and I'm realising what would have been really easy for the insides would have been to have done it before they were put on the shelf, and I could have done it this way around and just poured the cement in, but there we go. But yeah, I think this is going okay. I think all the you know, pointing and rendering and stuff we've done has made me feel quite comfortable with this mortar mix as a material to work with. So yeah, we'll see. This is a much better light so you can see what's going on. Trust me, you just have to trust me. So I think I might just give it a go on the shelves. I'm getting that nervous feeling of like, oh god, what if I just make a big mess? But I guess you just gotta try stuff. Iwan is in the process of painting, and yeah, I need to get in there. I'm going to do the left hand corner, the least visible first. See how it goes.
Hello, how is everyone? As you can see, I have painted the second layer. So we have a wash layer. Some of you are saying in the comments that that's not necessarily needed. I'm not qualified enough to say whether or not it is needed, but the paint pot says that it is, so that's what we're going with. We don't really have that much space to be covering with it, so it's not like we're wasting it. So yeah, so we're on layer 2. It's been about an hour and a half, so we need to do layer 3, and then that's pretty much the wall done. Carissa's cracking on with her shelves. So we're just about to do another mix for that, and then take you along for the ride. Today is the day, how many days after the football? 2 days after the football.
The most important of unimportant.
Yeah, the most important of unimportant things, someone wise once said. So yeah, that was a what's the word? Traumatic game of football. So yeah, but good news. I just spotted our gecko. I have to come up with a name for him. Right, I'll turn you around. Here he is. Just come through the window. I'll let you guys come up with a name for him. I'm not sure where he lives. He must live on top of the beam here or something. But you can hopefully try and keep the flies down.
Okay, this is how it is looking. It's taken me a long time. And I'm definitely going to start from the top because it's easier to work down because you kind of mess up your work as you're doing it, but it is doing what I want it to be doing. I know it looks crazy. It will be amazing. Maybe wooden shelving would have made my life easier, but you know, this is more fun. I hadn't emptied the kitchen because I wasn't 100% sure if I was committing to doing this job today, but I'm happy with this, so I'm going to empty it and make up a big mix. But yeah, so it's the same texture as the wall, and then it's all going to be painted white, so it should all blend in. I think we're going to get like spray paint to do the little cubby holes, because it's quite hard to do it with a paintbrush. But yes, this is going to be a job of patience, but hopefully it pays off in the end. I'll just try and show you the inside as well. So my concern with the breeze block is that this is all crumbly at the back. You can see it a lot in this one. So I've managed to, with a paintbrush, get in there being more smooth. I've not done the top. I'm hoping just paint will cover that and you can't really see it. But obviously as I get up here, that's a very visual part, so maybe that's where the tile adhesive would come in. Maybe that's easier to paint upside down. But yeah, it's lunchtime, so I'm gonna have lunch first. It's not the best place for you to be sausage dog. Come on. Come on. Out the way. Go. So Iwan's just made me another mix. I'm not going to do another one after this because my shoulder is killing. I've done 2 of 20 blocks, so that means I am 1/10 of the way. Yeah, this is going to be a labour of love, but I am really happy with how it's looking. I keep saying trust me, mostly because I'm saying that to myself. Yeah, I think it's going to look good. So I will carry on and get these 2 done, I think. see how far we get. But this next bucket definitely needs some music for motivation, so I'm going to put my favourite playlist on. I'll leave my playlist in the description. I have a very weird eclectic mix of music on it. Leave me any of your favourite song recommendations, especially ones for doing work, because my favourite time to listen to music is if I'm doing a job like this, or if I'm like washing up and cleaning the house. So yeah, I would love any of your song recommendations, and I can put together an even bigger playlist.
I think he's a ladder snake. It's a garden tiger moth. Oh, it's orange on the inside. You see the under part of his wings?
Get you safe away from the chickens.
What's that?
It's the next day. My camera battery died before I was able to show you what I'd been doing on the kitchen shelving. It's looking okay, I'll show you guys in a bit, but just spending the morning doing some outside work. It's just about getting too hot now. I'm working on creating a bit of movable chicken fencing, so I'm going to try and like put them in certain areas. Thank you for all your tips in the last video about composting fast ways. It's had me thinking lots about what I can do, and that's kind of what I'm going to try and do with the chickens, is like create a bed that they scratch around in first, and then I'm going to bury their poop from the coop. Ooh, nice little rhyme. And some veg scraps in there to start my tomato factory. So yeah, that's just what I'm up to this morning, and then I'm gonna get Iwan to make me up a mix. It's a spider. He's just been doing some trimming, and then I will get back to the shelves. In the heat of the day, we're noticing that the insulated roof panels we put on in the autumn are making such a difference to the temperature in that kitchen. I think eventually we will actually put more insulation in the roof, but yeah, the fact that we can work in there in the hottest part of the day was not the case last year. We just didn't even want to be in there. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna get back to this chicken fence before it gets too hot. just need to finish attaching this bit of shade cloth. This is by no means a way to stop predators. This is when they're free ranging, and we're here just to try and encourage them to stay in this one area. I don't know how successful I will be because they can fly over, but it doesn't matter if they do escape. But yeah, I'm just thinking I might start putting together a bed for the tomatoes here and use the trees with string to create supports for the tomatoes. See how that goes. But yeah, I will add more shading for them and put their water in here and see what they think. I reckon there'll be 10 minutes before we have an escaped chicken. Iwan's just making me up a mix, and I'll show you the wool. That's how it's dried. I got up to, I've done this one, that one, and then I ran out for this one. Some bits of it are really rough. I think when I sponged it, some of it was a bit too wet, and the bits that were good dried really well. Here, I think actually this was more with the paintbrush rather than a sponge, so I'm going to focus on that. But yeah, here it's not too great, but it looks better than it was. So yeah, I'm going to carry on. Hopefully get up to this block today. It's a bit hot today, isn't it, sausage? You're a good girl.
Hello. It's a hot one today. Well, it's relatively hot. We're touching about 30 degrees, I think, Celsius. So yeah, every time it touches this sort of temperature, this time of year, it always makes us, well, it made us realise again how hot it does get and how we haven't prepared for summer at all. Even though we've still got a few months before it gets properly hot, we still want to make sure we're not rushing and doing that whilst it's boiling hot. So Carissa's inside finishing off her shells rendering, and I'm outside tarting up this bit. I think we're going to put the table underneath here, because you get quite a lot of shade from this mimosa behind me. I'll turn you around and show you what we're doing. So I think we've mentioned in previous video that this area here is where the previous owner used to keep his goats. So there's all sorts of like goat manure, mushrooms, broken down bits of wood, broken down bits of mimosa, all sorts. So it's actually really, really fertile soil. So we're going to try and turn this into a bed. I'm not sure what we'll put in it yet. Maybe some herbs and stuff like that. And I'm going to use this little area here as like a nursery for all of my trees over summer. Because like the acers and stuff like that really don't like the heat. So yeah, I'm going to do that, try and tidy it up a little bit more. I might try and take some of that root out actually. Yeah, there you go. Just wanted to show you this tool. Check that out for rustic. Right, there we are, done for the day. A little mini forest and a hammock. So you can get in the hammock, feel like you're in a forest. And then we'll, yeah, like I said, get some stuff planted in this, some herbs maybe a rose bush in here.
So my battery went again, but this is where I've gotten up to. That's 2 more mixes, so I think another day and 2 more and I should have it finished. And then once that's dried, we can get these walls painted, which is going to make a huge difference to this space. Iwan finished this wall yesterday and it looks amazing. I don't know if the camera's going to pick up, but you can really see all the beautiful natural shape of the wall. Yeah, it's getting there. It's coming together slowly but surely.
That's it for this week. The chickens lasted for about 2 hours inside their enclosure. It's not bad. At least keeps them under control for 2 hours. Better than nothing. So we've got a few, probably another day or two, or another mix or two left to finish the shelves. And then we will get fully painted up. Like we'll try and do a whole day of painting next week sometime, so it's going to be warm. So yeah, thanks for watching and see you guys next week.